So to convince our listeners and promoters out there that even now might still be hesitant about exploring the hybrid world or virtual events, we named like a few benefits. What would you say like are the top benefits to hosting virtual events and experiences or hybrid?
Well, sure. Well, so you mentioned the first one, which is reach, right? So the first one is I used to have an event for 10,000 people. Well, if I do it a hybrid way, I can have 50,000 people, and I may have 10,000 people show up on site again at some point, but I have another 40,000 people that couldn't make it for whatever reason or don't want to come yet because they're not comfortable, and they can experience it. And what we've seen that do is it kind of creates that FOMO, that fear of missing out for the next one. And it used to be almost everybody you talk to felt like, well, I don't want to do a strong virtual event because it'll cannibalize my live folks. And people have now realized that having a great virtual part of your live event is the best way to increase your attendees at your next live event. It becomes the kind of the marketing engine. That scalability is the marketing engine that drives your future attendees. Hey, I went last year online and it was awesome. And I saw how much fun people had on site. I got to go this year. I'm going to spend the extra time and effort to get there this year because there's a lot of value in that live. And that's the other key takeaway is, if you asked anyone about trade shows 2 years ago, or even some live events that weren't highly engaging, kind of fun South by Southwest type events, just the normal events we do on the corporate side, everyone was bored. Everyone's like, oh, trade shows are so old school. Nobody wants to go to them. And now all of a sudden people are dying to get to trade shows. They're like, I miss it so much. I want to see my friends. I want to be there,
Yeah.
So it really is kind of snap back to realize that virtual well done and hybrid well done is going to drive the heck out of your success for live going forward. And I think that's absolutely the number one benefit. Beyond that, there's benefits such as the data you can collect. In a live setting, you would get people that registered, and maybe if you had a booth, someone would show up and give you their business card. But it's very hard to collect any real data in the virtual world when you overlay it. Every click, every video they watch, every interaction they have, it's all trackable. And that really helps you understand your audience and develop your next meeting and prove your ROI to your bosses and all those things that you want to do with an event. Another one that not a lot of people think about but is becoming more important, is sustainability. Live events have a big carbon footprint. And so doing an event where maybe it's a smaller live portion, but a much larger online portion, you can get the same benefit and the same engagement for a much smaller carbon footprint. And obviously that is important and should be important to many of the folks that we work with. So there's really a ton of benefits there.
That's a good point.
Your cost per attendee, all that stuff is better when it's hybrid over just live. So.
That's a good point about sustainability. I didn't even think about that, but
Yeah. If you can reach 50,000 people with the carbon footprint of you normally reaching 500, that's something you want to take advantage of on all levels. And it's really important to our future. So.